Hello, good morning, friends. Joining me today on the Masterclass 20. This is the session on consumer decision making, how consumers decide how and why they buy different types of products and services. The process by which the consumers identify their needs, gather information, evaluate alternatives, and make purchasing decisions. This is the process of consumer decision making. Note that they identify their needs. Here, marketers, what they do is sometimes they plant the needs in the minds of the consumers. Consumers themselves may not feel the need for a product, but it's a deliberate attempt by the marketers to plant the needs in the minds of the consumers before they offer the products as such. Okay, then, when the consumers have a felt need of a particular thing, they want to search for it. So they search in the market and they gather a lot of information. Once they gather a lot of information, as a marketer, marketer should be clear enough in the process of explaining what the product and service means for the consumer, because it's a process where consumer gathers information. Okay, after gathering information, what the consumers will do, they evaluate different types of alternatives, because we are not in a monopoly markets today. There's a multi-product environment in which we are living in. So what happens is consumers have got a lot of choices and they evaluate. That's the reason why the marketers will have to explain clearly why this product can help them, why this service can help them. That's why they're going for targeting the consumers. And after all these things are done, they make a final decision, purchase decision. That's the reason why even the marketers also influence consumers at the point of purchase also, meaning once you go to the retail outlet and try want to buy a product, there is a lot of influences exerted on consumers at the point of purchase. So this is the process. So marketers need to understand the consumer decision making process. What is that? They identify their needs. Consumers identify their needs, number one. Gather the information of all the products, number two. Evaluate the alternatives, number three, and make the final decision to purchase or not to purchase. So why we just said helps marketers understand consumer behavior and develop strategies to influence purchasing decisions as such. Let's work out on certain important models which talk something about how the consumers decide of different types of products and services in the market. One is economic model. The economic model tells us consumers are very rational and seek maximum utility because it is priced. I want to get my price advantage. Every pie counts for me. Every pie counts here in this process when I make a decision to purchase the product. So the economic model tells you consumers are very rational. They are not emotional. They are rational. Whether they get the rupees worth of the from the product or not, they look at that. So consumers are very rational and seek maximum utility from the products and services they buy. The second, psychological model. In this psychological model, decisions are influenced by motivation, perception, learning, and attitudes. We have already discussed all these things. They are motivated and they perceive things differently and they learn to operate because they learn so many things, and out of their learning experiences they buy. And they have at some attitudes. We have already talked about how attitudes are formed and how marketers can change the attitudes of the consumers as such. So the psychological model tells us on consumer decision making models, decisions are influenced by motivation, perception, and learning and attitudes. The third one is a sociological model. The sociological model is something about social groups and culture impact buying behavior, because you're not a lone individual in the society, mind it. So your buying habits will be influenced by social groups in which you are living. So that is a sociological model. That means marketers attempt to influence groups of people. So this is the model which explains social groups and culture impact buying behavior. Next, there are certain models developed by researchers. We discuss these things in detail during the course of discussion over a period of time. Howard and Seth model, earlier also we were talking, focuses on brand choice behavior and learning process. Because this model focuses on brand choices, how consumers view brands, different types of brands, and how do they decide based on learning process. They learn, and then they say, okay, this model works well, that model works well, and this is the advantage, that is the advantage. Then Nicosia model talks about interaction between the firm and the consumer before the purchase. That means they look at the company. For example, if we talk in terms of Tesla cars, it's a good brand as such of Elon Musk, Tesla, and electric cars. All these things, interaction between the firm and the consumer before the purchase. And then Angel, Collard, and Blackwell model talks about complex decision-making stages. We shall discuss all those things. Explanation of consumer behavior is not easy, and the decision-making process stages are said to be very complex. Customers can buy, may not buy also, we don't know. And that model explains the complexity. And we shall discuss these things in detail during the course of discussion. Then there are three different types when we talk about consumer decision making. How the consumers evaluate the product information, evaluate the competitors' information, and everything before they buy. Because consumers always take informed decisions in this fast-paced world, because the information overload is there. Only thing is that you have to search for the information to buy the product. Everything is made available. If you want to buy a product, X product or Y product or Z product, you need to go to the market and get a lot of information through advertisements you collect, and by going to the retail outlets you collect a lot of information about, right? So let us see how decision making stages types can be explained here. One is, it is a RRB, meaning routinized response behavior. There's not much of a research and information base by the consumers when they buy a product, simple products like that. We should discuss these things just now. This is called routinized response behavior. Second is limited problem solving. So they don't want to get themselves totally confused. They look at little pieces of information and take decision. This is called LPS, limited problem solving. Third one is extensive problem solving. We have seen already in the earlier sessions. For example, if you want to buy a laptop, it's not a routine response behavior or limited problem solving. You want to have a complete picture of different laptop brands available within our price bracket, and examine all the features, whether these features are okay or not for you. And then what happens is, this is extensive problem solving. We want to have a lot of information before we buy. We shall explain these things just now. Routinized response behavior is that decisions made with very minimal effort based on past experience or brand loyalty. If you want to buy, say, for example, a detergent, so you go by past experience, or you learn and you examine the brand loyalty. Okay, Hindustan Lever's Surf is the first premium brand when we talk about detergents. Any other brands are there. There are Tide, there is Nirma, there is Rin or whatever. Different brands are there. So you examine either brand loyalty, or you might have used the product, past experience. If you have a positive reinforcement on Surf, you buy. If you have a negative attitude on that, because no, Surf is not going good, let me try Tide or whatever. That's what past experience learning. Let's examine the characteristics of this model, routinized response behavior. One is, there is low involvement. There's not much of a debate. For example, if you want to buy a Matchbox, is there any big headache in that? If you want to buy a daily routine products like milk, for example, is there any big debate on whether to go for Jersey or what do you call X brand or Y brand or Z brand milk, packeted milk as such? Am I clear what I'm saying? Heritage and different brands are there. Or you go for Sangam Dairy or whatever, Tirumala Dairy, a lot of brands are there. So for milk, there's not much of a thing. So low involvement. And then frequent purchases. We buy daily. Milk we bought daily. And there are very familiar brands and products which you enjoy already. So there's not much of a debate on that. So the buying a toothpaste, for that matter, example, buying a toothpaste of a familiar brand, purchasing milk or a bread from a usual store is not much of a big issue of problem solving. Is it not? It's a routine thing. You buy Britannia bread, fine, fantastic. That's it. So that's how it goes. So buying toothpaste or a familiar brand of a familiar brand, or purchasing a milk or a bread of a familiar brand is a normal thing. You go to the usual store and buy it. So what are the marketing implications here? Marketers run brand loyalty programs and reminder advertising. That's enough. You go on brand designing and delivering brand loyalty programs. See that the product is retained in the mind of the consumers. So then you go on reminder. You go with reminders, reminder advertising, just like that. Because not much of a debate. You need not have to bother too much on advertisement planning and all that, because decisions here made with minimal effort and based on past experiences and brand loyalty. That is the model, routinized response behavior in consumer decision making. Let's go to the second model. Second type, limited problem solving. As the name implies here, there is a moderate effort in decision making. It's not routinized, or it is not even that big a problem. It is limited problem solving. Means consumers consider few points. What are those? One is the medium involvement. Characteristics here is medium involvement and some prior experience, but search is needed. That means the consumers, of course, might be having their past experiences, but they search for, because what happens is multiple products in a queue to ask the consumers to buy this, that, and all. So buying a new shampoo, for example, based on certain recommendations, based on opinions of other people or whatever it is. Buying a new shampoo, of course, it is a regular product as such, not much of a thing. But when it comes to a new shampoo, like how this new shampoo can help your hair care. So what are the proteins, etc., vitamins that can help you to help save your hair, quality hair, whatever you call it. So buying a new shampoo based on recommendations. Choosing a mobile phone brand, yes, of course, is with a set budget. Not much of a discussion, but a simple phone you want to buy, a simple smartphone. You're not buying an iPhone as such. If you buy an iPhone, it goes to next step. Lot of issues involved in looking at the product. So choosing a mobile phone of a brand within a set budget. You have something like, say, I have 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. I just go for a mobile which is available and within the given brands. Of course, that's also a big problem, but this is here where you go for simple brands, there is not much of a homework. Then what are the marketing implications here in this limited problem solving approach adopted by the consumers to buy a product? Now, marketers have to create an awareness of your product by product comparisons. Your product is X, and related products which are in the frame of the consumer's mind are Y and Z. Now compare X with Y, Z, and see how X is important and how X is much more in terms of what I call features or whatever you call it, quality or whatever, when compared to that of Y and Z. Because that's the information that the consumers want here. Then influencer reviews. We have said already, celebrity advertising. Certain people who are said to be good enough will go for product reviews and flash these reviews in social media. And again, limited time offers, like discount offers, 5 days left, 2 days left, 1 hour left, whatever you call it. These kind of limited time offers will also help here. So this is the second type, limited problem solving. Much difficult approach for the marketers once the consumer decision making process is based on extensive problem solving. Mind it. Because these are all, we have already seen high involvement and low involvement decisions in the last session. Let's see here, high involvement decisions. I've already told you, like cars, laptops, say for example, refrigerators, air conditioners, a little, more complicated products, in the sense that we need to examine what are the features, what are the product advantages as such. So it's just not a casual purchase. It's a purchase with a lot of a homework you do. This is why it is called high involvement decisions. They require brand information and they require a lot of evaluations as such. So what are the characteristics of this type of extensive problem solving? It's a high cost, high risk product category, because buying a car is a one time affair, mind it. Buying a laptop is a one time affair. Buying a television is a one time affair. Of course, you can change the cars or televisions after 10 years, 20 years, whatever. That's a different story, but it's a high budget, high cost, and high risk purchase. If you buy X by sacrificing Y and Z, that's all. You can't again get back and say, get rid of X and get Y and Z. It's not possible. It's one time, mostly. And there is infrequent purchases. Buying a car is not equal to buying a toothpaste. If not X toothpaste, you in the next month you buy Y toothpaste. But it's not so in this case. It's not so in the case of luxurious products. Buying a car, comparing brands, or models and financing options, a lot of things, it needed extensive research is needed. And selecting a product, say for example higher studies, you want to go for higher studies. No, you need to take a lot of data. Of course, you may take a decision that I join in a local college or whatever. No, if you want to go abroad and make a master's, a study master's, right? Then you need to identify university for higher studies. So the university has to differently come in by creating their image in advertisements. Clear? So that's the reason why university will create a lot of brochures and pamphlets, etc., making students understand what their university offers. Because please note, it is an extensive problem solving based decision to join in say Oxford, or in a college in London, or go to Canada or America, whatever it is, depending upon your specializations and these are countries specifications, university specifications, and all that. So then what are the marketing implications there? How the marketers should fine tune their marketing strategies when the customer's buying model is with extensive problem solving? Here, detailed product information must be given. Absolutely important. Very detailed product information, because product comparisons are said to be very important here. And you bring expert reviews. Expert reviews are said to be very important in case of a high-tech products or whatever it is. And testimonials are important. For example, if you would like to join, in a London college, Imperial College London, you go to the website and examine the reviews of the students, whether they're satisfied or not. Expert reviews, testimonials, whatever you call it. So go to the website of that manufacturer, the car brand, and examine the reviews. So this is very important, because why? The consumers are taking high involvement decisions. So they want detailed information and evaluation for that particular product. This is called extensive problem solving. So what we have discussed is routinized response behavior, limited problem solving, and extensive problem solving. Now let's examine the consumer decision making process. Here is how it works actually. First is problem recognition, realizing a need or a want. Okay, consumer has a need in his mind. Okay, next is information search. You want to buy a laptop. That's the problem recognition. No, today we need to have a laptop because I need to work smart and all that. So you want to have a pad, iPad, or laptop, or whatever, notepad, or whatever it is. So you have realized a need or a want is there. This is called problem recognition. The second is, okay, if you want to buy a laptop, problem has been recognized by you that, okay, you need to buy a laptop. Then you gather data from different sources. So what are the laptops within my budget? What are the features and all that? So the information set where to buy, where not to buy. Then in this information set, you get lots. You have HP laptop is available, Lenovo is available, or XYZ Apple is available. Lot of brands. Next comes your evaluation of alternatives. Compare brands and their features. If you want to buy a car or a refrigerator, whatever, you compare different brands and then examine their features and then take a decision, purchase decision, choosing the product, ticking, yes, I buy this model, ticking it, choosing the product and service. And last one is very important, post purchase evaluation, assessing satisfaction. These are all normally happening scenarios, but marketers want to have a very clear idea, need to have a very clear idea. Customers for repeat purchases, how can they buy frequently your own product? After post purchase evaluation and satisfaction, only then they buy. It's not. So the consumer decision making process is scientifically described here in terms of stages. First one is problem recognition, realizing the need and want. Second one is information search, gathering data from other sources, different sources, try like magazines, advertisement, this, that, television advertisement, or going to the market and examine the brand, and then evaluation of alternatives, comparing brands and different features, and because you need to buy a best one as far as possible, and then you go for a buying decision, choosing the product and service. And the next one would be assessing satisfaction. Are you satisfied with the particular product or not is another important thing, because post purchase evaluation makes you think whether to buy the product repeatedly or not. Okay, that's it. So let us examine some of the consumer decision making processes, how consumer decision making process, how it works with real life examples. In case of routinized information, repeat buying, routinized buying daily groceries from usual supermarket, there's not much of a big issue there, and you go to the walk into the supermarket and buy your soaps, your groceries like your dals or salt or whatever you call it. Limited routinized decisions, not much of a thing. Limited problem solving, yes, choosing a new restaurant based on online ratings. If you want to go to a city, for example, you want to go to you want to take a hotel for your stay, it's a limited problem solving. You have to go for search. Yeah, at least you have to go for reviews and ask some of our friends or relatives, is this hotel good or not? So this is, of course, a limited problem solving. But in case of extensive problem solving, investing in a property after consulting experts and visiting multiple sites, you want to own a house in a colony, in a locality, say for example in a city like Hyderabad or Bangalore or whatever, which areas going good, which areas are non-controversial, whatever you feel. This is extensive problem solving. Buying a car, buying a laptop, what do you call electronic equipment as such, all these things are good examples. So what are the marketing strategies now for different decision making types? See, this is the core of the discussion, because we need to understand how consumer decision making process works. Let us examine now the marketing strategies. In case of routinized buying, reinforce brand loyalty, ensure availability, use reminder advertising. Because it's a routinized buying experience, routinized buying decision for the consumers, let the product be available, ensure the availability. For example, I am buying Rexona soap, for example. It's my brand. So I just go and pick a Rexona brand. I just go like that. So the marketer of a Rexona must ensure that the product is available in the store whenever I go. That's it, ensuring availability. Reinforce brand loyalty. See that your product is going good in the market. There should be no negative perceptions of the product. Reinforce brand loyalty. You must take into account brand loyalty must be maintained in the market. Make sure of your product quality, make sure of your distribution strategy, make sure of your advertisement strategy, make sure of your price strategy as such. So use reminder advertising. I am there. I am there. Reminder advertising. Marketers will have to take care. Then about limited problem solving, I have already told you. Consumers will go for information set again. They go for comparisons. So now marketers, what should they do? They offer comparisons. They emphasize unique benefits of the products. And sometimes they use influencer marketing like celebrity advertising. All of a sudden Ganguly comes and talks something, and Sachin Tendulkar says boost is the secret of my energy. So because what happens here is influencer marketing counts a lot, because customers are evaluating the product information, not extensively but to the limited extent. Third case, marketing strategy would be for extensive problem solving type of consumer decision making processes. You need to provide very detailed information, because consumers want every A to Z about the product, because they buy very costly products as such, right? So you provide detailed information with product comparisons they straight away, and bring out expert opinions, known people who are known celebrities, and they talk about the product. So that is expert opinion. And give personalized services. For example, you go to a retail showroom, of a car showroom, for example. Ask them to go for a trial run, personalized service. Ask them to use, test drive the vehicle, and have the experience, because they want extensive problem solving. They want to know about the car completely. So let them take the personalized service, personalized experience as such. Then when we talk about the overall perspective of this particular consumer decision making process exercise, understanding consumer decision making helps business align marketing strategies very effectively. Minded different levels of decision making required for the marketers to tailor their marketing approaches. And businesses and marketers should focus on consumer needs and behavior to maximize sales and customer satisfaction. Mind it, it's a very, very interesting aspect if you understand how consumer decision making process works. It is not hit or miss. Mind it, the marketers should absolutely take cognizance of how the consumers behave in the market and understand consumer decision making process. We have talked about three: routinized problem solving, limited problem solving, and extensive problem solving. So are you not interested to understand clearly the decision making process steps here? The answer is very differently yes. If you do not take care, then everything is gone. So with this, I close here today, because the session which is